The moon hung in the sky like a giant, glowing marshmallow, casting soft shadows on Sophie's room. Sophie was snuggled under her fluffy lavender blanket, but instead of drifting off to sleep, she felt a little bouncy with energy. Her bob haircut bounced as she stretched her arms and legs high in the air. "I wish I could stay awake just a little longer," she whispered. Suddenly, a soft thud came from beneath her bed. Sophie giggled and peeked over the edge. There, in the dim moonlight, sat two fluffy bunnies. One had fur as white as snow, and the other was as brown as chocolate. They both wore tiny sleep masks that looked like miniature crescent moons. "Hello," whispered Sophie, wide-eyed with surprise. The white bunny hopped closer. "We're Benny and Luna," he said in a voice as sweet as honey. "And we heard you wanted to stay awake just a little longer." Luna, the brown bunny, nodded. "That's why we came. We know all sorts of sleepy stretches and twists that will help your body relax and get ready for dreamland." Sophie's eyes sparkled. "Really? Can you teach me?" Benny and Luna grinned. "Of course." They hopped onto the bed, leading Sophie through a series of gentle movements. They called it Bedtime Yoga. First, they stretched their arms up to the sky like reaching for a bright star. Then they bent down low, touching their toes with their fingertips, pretending to tickle sleepy flowers. Next, they curled up into tight balls, imagining themselves as cozy little hedgehogs, snuggling deep in their burrows. Then, they slowly rolled from side to side like fuzzy bowling balls, giggling as they went. Sophie loved it. Each stretch and twist made her feel calmer and more relaxed. She giggled as Benny tried to balance on one ear, his tiny tail wiggling with laughter. Luna showed Sophie how to breathe in deep, feeling the air fill her belly like a warm balloon, then slowly let out the breath, puffing it out like a gentle breeze. As they finished their last stretch, Sophie felt so sleepy and content. She thanked Benny and Luna for the wonderful bedtime yoga session. They hopped onto the floor, yawned politely, and snuggled up next to each other, already fast asleep. Sophie closed her eyes, smiling at the thought of her new bunny friends. She took a deep breath, feeling calm and happy. "Good night, Benny," she whispered softly. "Good night, Luna." And then Sophie drifted off to sleep, dreaming of fluffy bunnies and magical bedtime yoga adventures.